What's up, everybody? It is Friday. It's Finish Strong Friday. It's also Coleman Ruffin's birthday, y'all. Unfortunately, he's not here, but we got a great show for you today. The street crew is in effect and ready to go. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about today. The show is here, but before we get started, first of all, I want to thank our partner Manifest. That show is coming up here at the beginning of February 2024. I know it's a long ways out, but make sure that you get your hotel room now because it's the Super Bowl week. So make sure that you have that in effect. All right, it is time to welcome the street crew coming to us from the Boston area. Everybody give it up for Kyle McNaught.
What up? How's it
What's
going?
up, brother? How you doing? Good to see you. Also coming to us from the Northeast New Jersey area, our good friend Jeff Dickinson in the house, everybody.
Hey, guys. What's going on?
Good to see you, man. Bodacious as
same
always,
here.
looking good.
Bodacious Cowboy.
Love it. Absolutely love it. All right, coming to us normally from Chicago, but he's not in Chicago today. Everybody give it up for a good friend, Mitch Kowalewski. What's up, brother?
What's
How
going
are you?
on? How are
Mitch
you?
in the house. Let's go.
What's going on today?
From Chicago.
Presenting.
That's right. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. Coming to us also from Chicago, our friend up at BWS Logistics, Rob Bussey in the Magic Bus. What's up, my friend?
What's happening, folks? Happy Friday, everybody.
Good
Happy
to see you
here.
as always. Always good to see you, my friend. Coming to us from the down south in Medellin, Colombia. Everybody, give it up for our good friend Juan. There he is, right there.
Good to see you guys.
And finally coming to us from Boise, Idaho, in the house, our friend, the Freight Sensei, the one and only Scott Watanabe in the house. Here we go, everybody. You know how this works.
Come on, get it right this time.
You guys should know this by now. You should know it. Come on, Kyle. Here we go.
20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain,
And 100% reason to remember, man, with the name.
Good morning. Oh,
What's up, everybody? How are y'all doing? Everybody good?
Good.
It's great
Good.
Friday. Great Friday.
Good to see everyone.
I woke up 1-0. How are you doing, Trey? Would you
You're
wake
not
up?
You're not 1-0. You're not a Lions
What
fan.
state is 1-0, brother?
Yeah, that
We showed
hurt.
up real soon.
It hurt.
You're not a Lions fan, man.
Need some
Forget
water
about
on
it.
that burn there, Trey, or what?
It's the first game. Listen, hey, you got to say this. It's Mahomes' first loss in September, I believe. The first interception he's thrown in an opening game. First loss of an opening, like a season opener. Maybe it's the decline, but we shouldn't jump to too much.
I don't know. That's
conclusions. The guy's
been on
pretty good.
Kelsey.
It's on Kelsey. We need him back, of course. We need some other people back, but it is what it is. That's how it goes. Scott, hey, listen, man, got something that I need to show, man. So, Scott, you have several children, a huge range of kids, as many of
do.
us know, and
20 to
you like to put a
He's a
few things
busy
out on
man.
social media from time to time. And I just happened to find this little nugget here. Check this out. Oh, wait, where's the sound? There's no sound. Oh, no.
Oh.
Scott, do the sound, man. Do the sound for us. This is awesome. You and your daughter were rapping. having
Yeah,
a
we
good
were
time.
a little bit.
Man.
Came the band. It could
I
be your
love
best
that.
day, your worst day,
That's
some
awesome.
Tuesday, or your birthday.
Yeah,
Every
that was
day's a
so
good
cool.
day. Now let me tell you why. It's a good one.
That was a good one. I love doing stuff like that with my kids as well. I love the fact that you do that, man. Keep putting the content out there.
We did the whole intro to Hamilton once, me and her. So you have to
did
look
you?
at some back ones, yeah. So
Nice.
it's awesome. Because we're big Hamilton fans, so we're big hip hop Hamilton fans. So it's like
I'm working on doing No Hands by Waka Flocka with my 3-year-old. So once I get that, I send it to you, Trey. She's so close to getting the Roscoe Dash part.
Well, when you put it on social,
Me and my
I'll get it on
oldest.
here and we won't
I'm
have
working
the
on
audio.
Flock of
as well.
Seagulls.
What's
Eagles.
that?
I'm just
Did
kidding.
you say the
I
flock
said
of seagulls?
I'm working on flock of seagulls. I was joking.
Nice. All right, very good. So listen, I did mention that it is Coleman Ruffin's birthday. Our good friend Coleman on the show normally, 32 years old today, everybody. And we did a little something special
32?
for him here. I know he's not here to see it, but he's already seen it. We've given it to him. I wanted you guys to see this. And if you know Coleman, make sure you send him a text or a message on LinkedIn wishing him happy birthday. Put together a little video for him. Check it out. Here's what we have for Coleman.
Happy birthday!
Say happy birthday, Coleman.
Happy birthday, Coleman!
Diana,
Happy birthday,
love it.
Coleman! Hope it's the best day ever.
Happy birthday, brother.
I'm so excited for you, man. So excited you're part of our team. So excited that you broke 100. Man, such exciting
It's a
stuff
go.
happening
Yeah,
all the time.
it
But anyways,
is.
happy birthday. Hope you have a wonderful day out there doing whatever you're going to do. And just know how much we appreciate having you on the team. Peace.
Hey, my man Coleman. Happy birthday, brother. Coming in from the great state of Idaho. Hope it's a blessed one. So glad to know you, man. Talk to you soon.
If no one has told you yet, let me be the first to say, getting old. Okay, every bone in the body starts
Classic
coming,
Diana.
knees start cracking, things just start locking up, and so enjoy yourself. Okay, just push through that pain. Who cares? Just push through it. Don't forget to have a drink. while
It's awesome.
Hey, Coleman, my man, I understand that you're growing up tomorrow and that you're no longer 12. That's fantastic. I brought out, just for you, a pair of scissors and some tweezers and a nice mustache comb, and I shaved this baby down to look special just for you. And why? Because you're growing up, my man. You are growing up. And I couldn't be happier for you. So I'm wishing you a bodacious birthday like
Talking
no
like
other.
your grandpa. I
You have
love
a
it.
great day, brother, and I will see you soon.
Hi, Coleman. I'm not saying I'm a dinosaur. You're just a kid. Happy birthday.
Who's that?
Oh, who is that? Somebody guess on who that
That's
who
awesome.
that final person was. Who do you think that was?
Like
Is that
the
Meshack?
Masked- It's like the Masked Singer. We don't know.
It's like the Masked Singer. Oh, this could be good. We could have a little fun with this. Juan, who do you think it was?
Was that Greg Roberts?
It was not Greg Roberts.
Was it Meshack?
It was not Meshack.
Oh wow. Was it? You?
Oh, this is fun.
This
It was
fun.
Rob, right?
Mitch, who do you think it was, man?
Yeah, I'm
Who's
going
in
to
the
go with
dinosaur?
Rob.
Was it Bane?
He kind of
Vacation Cowboy says Rob. Scott says Bane.
It had an
It was our
animal.
man Rob Bussey. Love it, man.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
Oh.
Woohoo!
Now, where did you get? Why do you have that mask sitting around, Rob? I have to know.
I got a 10-year-old, so there's all kinds of stuff within reach here. And he's
I like
he's
how the
into-
lips moved with your movement.
Yeah, he's
that was
into
solid.
he's into all that stuff. So not as much as he was, but he still likes dinosaurs, Godzilla.
Yeah,
He's getting into cars now.
Knocked
so
off.
I'm
He
a little
locked
nervous
up.
about that.
I was glad to see that Diana threw in a little video too. She's so funny. I hope we get her back on here on the show sometime soon. She's a lot of fun. Miss her quite a bit. All right, well, let's jump into the show today. So we're going to have our first segment of the day. What's the word segment? Sponsored by our friends over at Isometric Technologies. Listen, everybody, Isometric Technologies is your superpower if you're a freight broker. Make sure you check them out at iso.io. They are providing the ability to measure performance. How are your carriers doing? How are your locations doing? And how does that impact pricing? So check them out at iso.io. Good friends over there, Brian Crystal, John Stauffer, Justin Clark. Good guys over there. All right, let's jump in. We got a lot to talk about today. There's a lot on the agenda. But before we get into that, have you guys heard about this with little economic battle between T Swift and Beyonce? Yes, you guys see this?
No.
So they're both on tour and they're both quote unquote saving the economy because people are spending lots of money on that stuff. Isn't that interesting? People are spending hundreds, even thousands of dollars to go to one of these concerts with travel, with tickets, and yet people can't purchase homes right now. They're like, isn't that like crazy?
Saving the
That's good weather market to
T
go to.
Swift all the way though.
I don't.
I'm gonna go with
T-Swift
it.
all the way.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. I mean,
Beyonce's-
'cause
Beyonce's
there's
got a
no
killer show.
She does, but she's only got I feel she's only got a generational audience, right? There's
Yeah.
T Swift. She's been consistent for the last how many years?
17
Beyonce
years.
kind of left,
Yeah.
and Beyonce left. She did the mother thing, and she's coming back with, I don't know.
I don't know. So, well,
The
here's-
Beehive
It
I-
could be because my wife's a
cards,
huge
God.
T Swiftie fan. She
Yeah.
could be just a huge T Swiftie fan, and I just don't pay attention to Beyonce. Sorry, Beyonce.
Kyle, get in here. I know you want to get in here, man.
Yeah.
I'm not getting attacked by either of these fan bases. I have no idea why anyone online would
Yes,
say
please.
anything regarding this other than they are both phenomenal
Please.
women. They're going
Yes.
to kill it. Great job. Bringing girl power, girl boss, all this stuff.
I agree with all
We'll
that.
get us canceled again. I can't lose 2 customers a year because of you.
Well, Beyonce's got. I can tell you this: my daughters love Beyonce, and then people our age love Beyonce, and so I mean, I think she's got more than we might think, Scott. But you're right; they're both big. I'm amazed at how much like logistics is required for these tours. Have you seen their sets? Have you seen their stages?
Oh,
I mean, these things are massive.
massive.
You know, I heard Taylor Swift's like 100 trucks for each show. 100 trucks.
118
Man.
53-foot trucks, all miles dedicated, round trip in a big tour, right? So there's actually a company out of Sycamore, Illinois called Upstaging that's handling all the supply chain logistics for that deal, and it's their equipment, their capacity, but they do this concert touring deal, and they're massive.
Yeah, I mean, to her credit, she gave a bonus to all the drivers,
right?
$100,000 bonus for all the drivers, which was amazing.
Yeah.
But man, like that is absolutely wild. I heard that Taylor
There's
Swift is
also,
probably going to bank somewhere around like 650 million for this tour. Yeah, it's just crazy. Rob, what do you got?
I was going to say
Rob?
she's also got 2 sets of everything because she's doing the leapfrog type thing. So if they're playing in St. Louis, the other whole set is setting up in Seattle or whatever the case may be.
Is it
She's
only
got
2
2
sets?
whole
I would have
sets,
thought you would
so-
need like 3 or 4 to really accomplish that. Because then she doing
Well, that
back-to-back nights and stuff like that. I don't know.
Well, they
Well,
give
that
some
kind of
time,
makes
I think.
sense
A lot
when you
of times,
think about it.
Go ahead, Rob. We're good. Finish up.
I was just going to say that I think one of the great things that has been sort of happening in the concert world these days is the multiple night shows where when I was younger, if it was Led Zeppelin, it was one night, and then they had to go take everything down and go to the next thing. You might as well play 3 nights in one city, you know, 3-4 nights over.
Yeah, Garth Brooks did that a lot,
period, and
quite a bit back.
It makes
when he
sense.
came
It
back
saves a
out,
lot
yeah.
of money.
Yeah, exactly. Now Garth Brooks did that as well. So Taylor Swift tour is supposed to do 1.6 billion is what they're estimating, and they're saying Beyonce is going to top 2 billion on her tour. So
Don't
that's
tell
pretty
Scott
wild,
that.
especially with worldwide dates. I mean, that's just nuts. I mean, you know, it's
How's
good.
a
it's good.
generational singer only getting 2 billion. That makes no
I
sense.
know. How
mean,
is that?
Taylor
How
talks
is
to everyone.
that?
I'm more
I
surprised
think
that you're
it's great
talking about
for,
stuff that I think our collective group really cares about. Jimmy Buffett dying and the lead singer of Smash Mouth dying. I mean, I don't know why we're focused on Beyonce. Other than the Bodacious, I don't think anyone else can name 3 songs.
Oh man, she's not getting my money. I swear to God. You know, I don't care if I got free tickets; they're going away. Whoever wants.
Come on, Lemonade. You
Yeah,
love that
man.
song. You know it.
Hey, Beyonce had a killer Super Bowl show. She had this killer halftime show, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And
Bodacious.
everybody
Beyonce, Rihanna. Who do you pick?
Neither.
Can't
you
do that.
got to pick one. You got to pick
Gotta
one.
pick one.
Rihanna.
I would say Rihanna.
Rihanna's more my generation. Yeah.
You like them savage, huh? Bodacious.
He was going to say
Oh,
Beyonce.
Tyler, you're gonna get us canceled again.
Love that. So here's something.
Great
Here's
sign
something.
for live events, though. It's just a great sign for live events and live music. People
Yeah.
out there
Well, let me tell
appreciating
you.
it
So,
and enjoying life.
So Rob, this is on top of that. So it's not live, but this is something that Taylor Swift is also doing that I think is actually quite genius for the rest of us. Is she's coming out with the movie theater version. So they've recorded a lot of this with great angles, and they've created a movie of her concert. And listen, I would not take my kids to a concert because of the cost, and I just wouldn't do that. And you can't really control so much. But the fact that they're putting a movie together, we're going to check it out, and hopefully it's good. But that's $75, and I can take my kids and we can go and watch it together and do that. So I think that's genius because people are still going to pay to go to the show, and now she's going to get theater revenue as well.
Well, think about
really,
all
really
the
smart.
other big groups. I mean, Rob could mention them too, that they made films about, Led Zeppelin, number one, Pink Floyd, another one, what happened at Woodstock. I mean, just
But there's not a
tremendous
lot.
amount
I
of
mean, think
films
about it.
there.
There's not a lot that have been able to pull this off in the last 20 years. I can't think of too many
Beyonce did.
bands that went on tour. Did she have a movie that came out as well?
Oh yeah, that was a good one
So
too.
T Swift
That was
is just
at
I didn't
copying.
see it.
Wait, Beyonce has a movie?
Oh, I'll send you a link.
But,
Bodacious.
but
You're gonna love it.
there's a ton that have put out DVDs. and
Taylor's
made a lot
already.
of
This
money
is the
on
first
that,
one.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rob, there's a
Jonas
redemption
Brothers
story.
She
did
did
it.
it with her redemption
Naked
story. I
Brother
Come
Band
Home.
did it.
Well, we're
I
all
come
talking
home.
This
over
will
each
be
other.
out on DVD as well.
It will. She'll get the DVD revenue as well. But going to a theater and hearing the sound and kind of a shared experience, I think it's pretty genius to do that as well.
You dressing up for it, Trey? You gonna do a whole cosplay, Rocky Horror Picture style, singing on the aisles
Absolutely.
and everything?
I mean, what else? What else? Why would you not do that? I mean, yeah, of course.
He's
Hey,
fresh
you
off
gotta
the Barbie.
do that.
movie.
God knows what I'm talking about. When you got
I
daughters,
would
man,
do
you do
that.
whatever they want you to do for that. 100%.
That's
I
true.
wore a
He's
pink
good at
That
pants
is
Barbie.
true.
He's been in the Barbie box. Come on.
Pink shirt.
Look at this. I know.
I went to see
Absolutely
the what do you call it? The Backstreet Boys with 20 women, man. Oh my God.
What?
Oh my
You,
God.
you went to see the Backstreet Boys with 20 women?
I would.
Yeah, I
I'd
did.
go
I
with
had a suite. I had a suite, and we took a friends, and the Backstreet Boys fathers came out, and they also sung. I mean, I sat in the back of the corner and just cried. I mean, I just cried. It was so
It was that much of an emotional experience for you?
yeah.
Sounds like it. Wow.
Same when I
Oh,
saw
okay.
the Spice Girls.
Oh,
All right. Well, that's something to that. So anyway, so a lot of economic impact from them. So that's pretty interesting. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm pretty sure I'm going to take my daughter to the theater show. I don't know if anybody else is going to be doing that, but good for T Swift and Beyonce for making some serious bank. Pretty impressive. All right, so we're going to switch gears a little bit. Speaking of those truck drivers that T Swift gave the bonuses to, we've heard some rumbling lately. An article from Freightwaves recently about this perpetual truck driver shortage, that it's just a myth. Did you guys get a chance to read that and check that out? What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, for sure.
I think there's going to be a
Mitch,
shortage
go for
of
it.
the
Mitch,
good
you're in
vet
first.
drivers.
And then
Go ahead,
Rob, you're
Mitch.
next.
I
Go,
think,
Mitch.
I think a lot of the facts are skewed on this subject overall. There's a lot of different opinions on it, but I think the facts are the facts. And that we know that majority of the trucks that we touch and operate and book with this group here, they're under 50 trucks, they're under 100 truck fleets, right? And so a lot of this data is obviously tied into our top 100. So if we look at Swift Knight, number one capacity provider in the marketplace today, just by numbers, they're still only equaling like 1 or 2% of total truckload market capacity, right? So if you look at this, so it's kind of a goofy article in a little bit in my sense, but it's just, I mean, it's an impression, right? So we see there's a massive exit of equipment the last 90 days, but it was late in the year. We thought this was going to happen, Q2, and it didn't. It happened in Q3. So some of those deals are off, right? So some of the big fleets still were behind in COVID, getting new equipment established in. So yes, but I think that there's still plenty of trucks that will see drivers. I think that there's plenty of trucking companies that will hire drivers right now, and there's enough freight flowing that the impact is minimum.
Yeah, Rob, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say that it's hard to get accurate numbers on there exactly based on what Mitch said, with the mix of the big dogs having the high percentage. They're only like 25 or 30% now for all the big carriers that have the numbers. It's all the mom and pops and it's the 1 to 5. So there's a ton of those out there. So it's really hard to get that. But I do think there is a trend, which I think is probably across a lot of businesses, where a lot of the older people are retiring with a lot of great experience, and you're getting a lot of these new younger drivers in there with different work ethics and mentalities and everything like that, and that is a factor.
Yeah. How much of the?
Yeah, I've got some numbers for you guys.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Since the beginning of the year, 111,000 truck drivers were out there, companies, and 89 of them. What was it? Yeah, 89,000 left, but came back, and there's still a difference of 22,000 since the beginning of the year, down over last year's numbers.
So 22,000 MC numbers down is what you're saying.
Yep.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, and the way that the bear market's going, I would not doubt that we're going to see more exodus.
I definitely think you're right. I think
if fuel goes up. If the fuel goes up, you're going to see even more exiting because it's unsustainable. They can't operate. If a company is going to be profitable, they have to operate at a 25% profit right there. And if they're not, and anything above
I don't know
that,
any trucking companies that are close to that. Most of them are in like the
I think
8 to 10% if they're doing well.
Well, going back to the bigger fleets, guys, right? The Schneiders, the JB Hunts, the Warners, the Swifts of the world. If we're a broker or before, if we're a shipper with just regular route freight, the chances of us obtaining those assets are slim. Those are tied up in dedicated deal scenarios, Walmart, Target, whatever those are, Home Depot. So the majority of the freight being hauled is the smaller guys, right? Whether they're hauling for the bigger fleets and subsidizing that out, but the bigger fleet capacity, the numbers are just so skewed because of the U.S. Express. It's a majority dedicated fleet scenario, right? And so I think at the end of the day, again, I think that the bodacious point, fuel high does have some short-term impacts. We see construction. There's a skew of drivers that pop in and out with construction season, right? When construction season wraps up in the Northeast and the Midwest, they get back into the trucks and do some other things as well.
Yeah. So let me ask this question, because I think you're right about, if especially if fuel prices go up and costs continue to go up, we're going to see people that leave the market when they bought trucks that were too expensive, so on and so forth. But how much is the driver shortage really about how companies take care of their drivers?
100%.
Because I talk to a lot of companies, the one here in St. Louis in particular, Arter Express, their trucks are always full. Like they don't have empty trucks, and they do a really good job with their drivers, just taking care of them. And I just wonder how much of it is that, because the drivers just continually are swapping from company to company and moving around, taking the bonuses, that kind of stuff. I mean,
Trey, 3 years ago, drivers would be kind of penalized for wanting to go home, right? Like they just, you got to run. And the bigger mid-sized fleets, you look at Bay and Bay out of Minnesota, they have regionalized their entire network. So drivers are home every couple of days just from a work balance to keep the driver retention is a core focus. You see companies upgrading their facilities to be comfortable for the driver. Facilities. That is absolutely not a privilege. It's a necessity today to kind of have that driver's extension. So I think the fleets that really care about a driver, they send them home on a regular basis on regional routes versus keeping them from Boston to California all day long.
Yeah, and a lot of the companies out there, the drivers are actually leaving the long haul market and going into the super regional market, because instead of making $1.90 a mile, they're making $3.85 if they're close to home and doing those super regional and regional ones. So that's where you're going to see a little bit of a void on that side too.
Yeah, that's true. Walmart, what were you about to say? You were going to jump in there.
I was always wondered because the percentages that Bodacious was giving were pretty accurate to something that we did earlier this year, which we consistently refreshed FMCSA's database on the back end with our RPA technology. And 2 years ago from now, around 50% of that database has shrunk, meaning anything that is not active, we take it out. And that's a pretty large number. But it is historically, since we started working in logistics 8 years ago, it's always been that a company comes in and like 9 out of 10 of them, they go out of business in the first 6 months really quick. And you see a lot of churn in that area. And sometimes I think, is that like that one driver that got tired of working for Arter or for one of the big boys and said, I'm going to start my own shop. And they went in there and then they left because the big boys weren't able to retain their talent. So is it actually a shortage of human capital, or is it the inability of bringing in and retaining talent inside?
I don't know. I think the greater shortage is in diesel tech. I think that's the one that's really going to hurt us, is diesel tech.
Trey, you're spot on. You're spot on. There's 3 levels of tech, right? On the maintenance side, you got diesel 1, diesel 2, diesel 3, plenty of diesel 1s. But once you get anything more complex, diesel 3 is the biggest shortage of mechanics out there on the labor. That's affecting turnaround times. That's affecting in-house capacity maintenance programs. So then relying on the Penske's and the Riders, and you're totally right. If you're diesel 1, you work for the carrier, but then the dealers, the Peterbilts and the Freightliners, they're sucking those guys down as quickly as possible for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll see what happens with that in the industry. But speaking of trucking, and it is almost fall, which means that it's getting colder here in the northern hemisphere, which means that we're about to get some more ice trucking is going. No, we're not talking Halloween, Juan. We're not there yet.
I thought you were going to know.
We'll wait on
right to the ice.
It is pumpkin spice latte season.
Right to the ice. There you go.
It is PSL economy for those that are pumpkin spice latte drinkers. I've got 3 of them in my home, which is ridiculous. So it's a lot of fun to drive through the Starbucks with them. But we got some, ice road trucking is going to be coming back pretty soon, and that's something that have you guys ever watched the show about ice road trucking, or been in a truck that's done some ice road trucking up there in Alaska?
I've seen the show.
I haven't been in one.
Yeah, I mean, with the drilling that's happening up in Alaska,
the camera underneath the ice is a crazy view.
Man, that's wild. That's wild. The idea of like taking a truck through the ice just blows me away. I know that people in northern, like in Wisconsin, Minnesota, they're kind of used to that kind of stuff, driving on ice. Man, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know.
I know
Did
this
you guys-
sounds ridiculous, but what drives me nuts on that show is how dirty the trucks get. I just
terrible.
it's so filthy. It's just that OCD. Like, man, just clean that up a little bit. But they get filthy out there for sure.
And they're doing more drilling out there too.
They are.
That whole area of Alaska is booming like there's no tomorrow, man. I was reading a lot of articles on it, and man, that's a honey hole for anybody that wants to move flatbeds and even truckloads going in that area, man.
Yeah. And the pay is much better. I mean, the
It's
pay is
dangerous
a lot better.
stuff. I mean, that's one of the dangerous roads to travel on.
What if there's any truckers that just do that and then save up their money and kind of enjoy the rest of the year, part of the year? Because I bet they make pretty good money.
I bet you there are.
Yeah. I know some people that used to go up to Alaska during fishing season, and they would be able to pay for school for just working 2.5 months in Alaska during that time because the money was pretty good.
Cool.
So that's interesting. So yeah, I haven't watched too many episodes of that, but it always it just freaks me out. It's I just think at any moment this truck could go through the ice. I mean, I know it's not true, but it just feels that way.
Oh, I saw Record Recovery. There was a show about that where some of these really heavy trailers were sinking out there, and they had to get these heavy haulers out there, wreckers, to try to get them out. What a bear that is. I mean, just think about, you're trying to pull it with a winch. You have no traction. You're on ice, and you're trying to get these tractor trailers out of there. And there have been some that actually have sunk out there.
Yeah, it just freaks me out to even think about that. There's no recovery from that. I mean, it's like there's this. I don't know. I like doing some risky things. I'm not sure that's one that I'm built for. I don't know. Kyle, you're
What are the
smirking.
risky things?
Come on.
Tell me some risky things. I want to hear one or two risky things you like to do. Is it like you go outside with no gel in your hair?
I go straight outside with nothing, man. With my hair matted down and nothing, man. It's risky.
Somebody got cream for that?
Risky.
I like to rock climb. I want to skydive. I haven't done it yet, but I want to.
Oh, so do I.
But there's certain things that I definitely want to do. I should have done it before I got married. Is the lesson there? Should have done it before I got married.
I think you have to use the CSI Miami, theme song for the jump.
There you go. It's just as risky as Scott and Mitch going outside without any suntan lotion on their heads.
Believe me. I got last weekend. It was pretty hot.
Let me ask a question of you two real quick. Do you guys shave because is it like if you grew hair, what would grow? I'm curious.
Well, this is just a green screen. I have a full head of hair. This is just a.
There's no filter on his. I did this last night.
I'm his witness. I've seen it. He's telling me.
I'm sure if you look at my social medias and you go back far enough, you'll see what doesn't grow.
I need to do that. I need to pull some photos from back in the day. How old were you guys when you decided to go big?
Young. Early for me, it was still in my 20s, probably late 20s, but I've been doing it for so long. When people do see those historical photos that Scott's talking about, those black and white photos that I have, people are shocked. And they're like, "Man, you look like an idiot with hair, right? Like you look like like spiky blonde tips back in the day, all the rage." But no,
I never did that. I was ashamed. I think one summer when I was like 12, all the neighborhood kids got together because it was just super hot and we all shaved our heads. And I was the only one that just kept doing it. There's a couple of times where the wife's like, "You should grow it out." And, I try to get the whole.
So you've had that since adolescence.
No, but I've always, but it didn't get until I joined the military is when I started with the razor. And
I'm super grateful I don't have a square head because this would be way more awkward.
Yeah. Well, there's an old bald black guy at church that told me one day, he says, Scott, I was like, "What's up, brother Sidney?" His brother Sidney plays the keys. He's just like, "God only gave perfect heads to so many people. Everybody else he gave hair to." I'm like, "Ooh, preach."
I haven't seen mine.
I like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen mine bicked like that. I have shaved it a few times. I shaved it once for a youth event to shave it off. And I also, when I was in high school, I was at Boys State, like a governmental kind of thing for in the summer for boys. And we decided to shave our city name into our head. So I was the H. So I had an H in my head. And then, of course, after that, I had to shave it down because you're not going to run around with an H for the rest of the week. But did that for a little stunt. So a couple times I've done that. But I haven't gone that far where I see, although my forehead is moving back further and further year after year. So who knows? I may get there one of these days. All right. I'm super impressed. We're coming up on 30 minutes on the show, and not one person has given me crap about my Chiefs losing last night.
I was wondering.
What's going on? I know.
The first thing I said was
I forgot.
Did they play last night?
They did not
No,
play last
they
night.
didn't play.
There was a game, Jeff, but they did not play last night. No,
No.
it was pretty rough. It kind of looked like there's some good memes out there. Do you guys remember when Peyton Manning did a commercial with the little kids on Saturday Night Live? Do you guys remember that?
Yep.
And he was
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
hitting them in
Yeah.
the back of the head and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of memes out there right now about the Chiefs kind of looking like that last night. But
Wait, we didn't
Yeah.
talk
They
about
played
that.
Detroit, right?
they played Detroit. Yeah, Mitch, go ahead.
Well, we didn't talk about that because there's real games actually coming up, right? We got the Bears, Packers, we got Jacksonville Colts, we real viewership coming up.
Yeah. Well, I went to my junior high game last night during the game. That was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I got to
About
hop
the
off.
same amount of
See you, Rob.
passion.
Thanks for joining, buddy.
Weekend.
Yeah, have a good
Yeah,
weekend, Rob.
man.
Rob, see you.
Adios.
See you, buddy. Yeah, so
Dinner done.
I mean, you say Bears Packers, Mitch. I mean, is that even going to be? Who's going to watch that? Who like
Bears are going to win for the first time ever. They're going to
Yeah,
win.
yeah,
the
there
Bears
you go.
fans will.
Right.
I bet the Packers fans might.
Yeah.
The Bears
You
fans
still
will.
didn't answer who's actually watching that. Like,
Me and
Oh.
next Friday I might have a green jersey on. I was like, man, I'm so.
So
big.
the big question here is: will Aaron Rodgers turn the Jets around? Who's voting yes and no? What are your thoughts?
No,
I
first
think
of all,
that-
the big
I think there'll be a playoff
conversation
team. I
should
think
be
they'll
about
lose
the
again.
fall of the Chiefs
Yeah.
dynasty. The Chiefs dynasty is falling,
No, let's
right,
move
guys?
on.
It's
Let's move
over. They're done with. They might
Well,
as well
they
let
played
me-
Detroit. I would think that's correct.
Hey,
State.
let's have that conversation, Kyle, in January. Let's have that. Let's see what happens by the time we get to
I
January.
don't know, man. I'm
All right.
seeing the trends. They're, right now, Patrick Mahomes has the worst quarterback, like worst record in all of NFL, worst
Let me-
QB rating in all of NFL,
it's all
most
skewed.
interceptions.
Listen.
Stats are there.
Listen, it's all skewed right now. Take a screenshot of it because it's not going to last, my friend. But listen, hey, have the Chiefs
Hold
ever
on,
won the
let me
Super
get a
Bowl
piece of
when they were undefeated? Have they ever gone a season without a loss when they won the Super Bowl?
No team.
They haven't. Exactly. So it's one loss. Who cares? Let's talk in January about the dynasty. Kelsey will be back. Chris Jones will probably be back at that point. They'll be
Or
healthy.
the
The receivers will finally learn how to
hands might
catch
be
the ball.
back.
They'll get enough stick 'em on the gloves. It'll all change.
Go
Let's talk in
Giants.
January.
Go
Yeah.
Giants.
So Jeff, you bring up an interesting point. You're a Giants fan, and you bring up the point about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. I would not be surprised if they're a playoff team this year, and I would also not be surprised if they lose in the first round again, because I feel like that's just Aaron Rodgers' MO right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised about that. So we'll see. But I bet they'll be a playoff team. But I don't know if I'd say it's a turnaround because they played pretty decently last year. It wasn't like they had a bad year last year.
Yeah, Wilson though.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Rodgers is almost 40. I mean, how much longer can he perform at a high level? We'll see. I don't know.
Brady won a Super Bowl.
Hey, Brady. You had Brady.
I don't see Aaron Rodgers being as strict and disciplined as Tom Brady. I'll just say that. I
That's
think Aaron
true.
Rodgers is a little bit more of a wild card.
That's
So,
true.
Yeah, but
I
he's
would
got the
agree.
Zen.
He's got the Zen. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Did you guys see this? Did you see that Werner was hit with a $36 million jury award? Did you see
Big
that?
deal. Big cheese.
Big deal.
A lot of money.
36 million award, meaning they
I
got
mean, they had
back.
to pay out.
No.
They had to
They
pay
They had to
out.
pay out.
They had to pay out. That's a
See a
nuclear
word, I was like,
verdict
what,
if I've
you
ever
just
seen
hand
one.
off with that?
I think on those, the behind the scenes portion of those, they take so many years, right? So
Yeah.
this didn't happen last week. This
It's
didn't
5
happen
years.
last month. This
Yeah.
happened when I did have hair, probably back in the day. But these take so many years of deposition and compromise and figuring out where it's at. Listen, the big fleets, they're very vulnerable. If a truck is pulled over on the side of the road with their placards out on an issue and someone hits it, the trucker's still getting sued, right? Just by default. And so lawsuits are unfortunately the part of the asset people's world on risk very, very high. Unfortunately, this is not that at all. This is more of an ADA situation where there was just a miscue on a disability act and what had to happen on them, which is a shame because the driver did have, an exempt deal from FC. I think it was exempt. I'm just sure. But so it was a pretty clean deal. And there was just an error on Warner's side, but a very, very expensive error for sure.
Very,
Yeah.
very expensive one.
Yeah. And I just wonder what's the answer with this? Because you have an entire industry now that this is what they're set up to do.
Sensitivity
There's an
training,
entire-
deeper training, employee training. Obviously, this is safety 101, right? So laws change, cultures change. We evolve as societies on inclusion and those other things. We got to be current, right?
Yeah.
So that's the answer to 36 million savings.
But they're not going to stop accidents, even with all the training that you do. It's still not going to stop accidents.
Yeah,
So
but
my-
this is
my-
not an accident,
you know,
right? This is employment. This is employment qualification.
Right. No.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
this guy, right?
Right.
Yeah,
But they
that's
didn't
correct.
want to they didn't want to hire the handicap per se. So
Wow, that's an expensive decision. Man, that's pretty wild. But I just wonder about some of these things because there's a whole industry that's going after them for accidents, for this type of stuff. They're just looking for stuff. They're just constantly looking for stuff and digging into the pockets.
Yeah, I see this all the time, right? Even in my past life on consulting in the fleets, it is easier sometimes to just compromise on a lawsuit, even though you're in the right. It just needs to go away. It needs to not be a distraction. And it really comes down to legal cost, right? How long are you really willing to fight against class action? Is it going to go class action? Is it going to go into civil and these other deals? And so these just drag on for so many years. Is it worth spending $2 million to defend $1 million lawsuit, right? Is it worth doing those things? And that's where, unfortunately, the compromise comes in. Guys, we see billboards all over the place. What do the billboards say? Injured? Did a trucker?
Yep.
Did you wrong? Call me. I got your back. Just because class action lawsuits are just, unfortunately, part of the easy way out on these things, and a trucker is a vulnerable company. And I think these lawyers look like they think that truckers are billibillion-dollar corporations. They're not.
Right.
I guess that's the impression, right? That's what
does this happen in other industries? I'm just curious if this is the kind of thing where there's.
I'm a doctor. I am at big risk.
Yeah, medical
all day long. If I'm a dentist, I'm at big risk of being sued.
There's
Juan, take yourself off mute.
Production.
I have one.
You have one.
Stop trying to get canceled. Yeah, marriage industry. Boom.
Marriage industry.
Yeah. Divorce lawyers. They're looking for it. They're out there looking for it.
Oh, speaking of which, so I just heard a guy talk about this. This guy said that 56% of marriages end in divorce, which is statistically what we know. But another 20, he said like 23% or maybe it was 20% end up in like incredibly unsatisfied, like unhappy, but stay married. Right. And so 3/4 of every marriage ends up just being not happy. How sad is that, man? How miserable is that? Isn't that crazy? Because everybody on their wedding day is all happy. Everybody. I mean, nobody has a wedding and is just mad or just Kyle. No, not as happy on your wedding day.
There's some Reddit stories I've read about how people weren't too happy. I don't really remember my wedding day.
We get it. We get it. Diana, what's up? So good to see you. Can't wait to have you back on the show. Thanks for watching today. In true Mexican
media
fashion,
production, we get.
You said it, not us. All right. Okay.
In media production, there's they come after you for copyright a lot, like especially using like songs and stuff and like promotion, event promotion, and all those things. Where you think you're buying that? Like,
Kyle, is this a 5-second rule? Like I can play that music for 5 seconds before I got to pay or something, right? Something like that.
Yeah,
like
I just
understanding the rights,
the
copyright of all that stuff.
Yeah. Maybe we just don't hear about it because it's not our industry, but I just don't feel like I hear about some of these things except for medical. You hear medical sometimes. Although that's a whole nother thing too, because now you're seeing these waivers of liability for corporations. I mean, not to get too political, but like with the vaccine, the waiver of any liability for that. So, is that like how is it? How does that come into other industries? How can you create
hernia mesh? How you see that all the time on television? Have you had a hernia? Has it been replaced with mesh? Call us.
Yeah.
Money to
Yep. The billboards on the side of the roads. Have you been hurt?
Well, I get them as a veteran. I get the one about the 3M earplugs. Were you deployed? I was like, yes, I was. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put my name on a piece of paper for $7.55 later down the life. Come on now. I mean, how many other soldiers are there? Deal with it, guys. Go to the VA, get yourself some compensation, and don't worry about it.
That's right. Maybe we'll.
I think the bottom line on all this though is it's simple, and that comes down to sensitivity training and these other deals. But the fact remains, it's easy to sue the truck, right? It's become a culture, it's become an industry, and it's a shame. Some of the hardest working folks out there is trying to make a living just like we are, right? Being a trucker right now is hard. It's frustrating, really frustrating. And so having any other distraction like this is a tough deal. But 36 is significant. Werner's a top 2, top 3 provider in the marketplace today. Yep. So they got it. But
yeah. Speaking of top providers, it's interesting. We haven't heard much lately about the dissolution of Yellow. How's that playing out there in the marketplace? What's going on with
benefiting some of the folks out there short term, right? So somebody's gain. We know it's Saya's gain. We know it's some other folks' gain.
Old Dominion's getting some of that. Yeah,
totally. Well, we can't wait for the next earnings to really see what the true impact is on the publicly traded side for sure. But just industry folks, other LTL providers, even in Chicago, their docks are flooded, absolutely flooded.
Yep.
And they're choosing when to deliver. They're taking control of how that's working. It's affecting price increasing,
Correct.
especially on the partial LTL segment.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on with the people. How many of them have landed in the spot? I would love to know how many of them take the leap and start their own thing. I mean, they've got great experience.
Well, here, Overland Park, right? Obviously,
Yes,
HQ.
right
So
there.
Radiant Logistics, publicly traded, right out of Seattle, Washington, saw an opportunity. They said, "Hey, how many talented people are in that building across the street? Let's open up a shop." And Radiant, I think, opened up in Overland Park, Kansas.
did.
And
They
80%
did.
of the people were yellow employees, right? So they
Yeah.
capitalize on talent for sure on that.
Yeah, they did. Well, this is almost like what happened with like Freight Quote, because that was a big Kansas City company, and then out of that came a
building,
lot of freight brokerages. A lot of people like, I know how to do this, and they opened up brokerages. So I'm really curious to see what comes out of that. It'll take probably six to 12 months to start to see some of that fruition play out as people start to bet on themselves or figure something out. But we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, Overland Park is kind of a hotbed for that kind of stuff. I mean, it's so not too surprised to see that. Not surprised.
Nope.
Okay. All right. We got to transition here. That was fun. That was What's the Word for today. Thanks so much to Isometric Technologies for supporting us in that. Appreciate that. All right. It's time for us to play a game, a little segment that we started last week called Hot Takes. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put up some hot takes and see what your thoughts are on some of these. Kind of get these up and running. So let's go ahead and start with Kyle. Why are you laughing, man? You always laugh whenever we do something new. You're just wanting this to fail.
I love the little switch.
You're just wanting this to fail. That's exactly how you are. Okay, all right. So first hot take is this: hot chocolate is better than a chocolate milkshake.
No.
Mitch, you go no, not at all.
It's a cold take. First of all, chocolate milkshake all day long for the win, all day.
100%.
Those are fighting words, by the way.
Agree.
everybody.
Yeah,
I agree with that. 100%.
I'm with that.
as well.
Ice cream is a different thing when it melts. It doesn't even freeze back. It's just
Hot
something
chocolate
different.
is what we go to when it's too cold. Like if it's too cold, then you have hot chocolate just because you want chocolate, and it's too cold to have a shake. But if you have a choice, I'm with you. It's chocolate milkshake. every
I'll
day.
still have a chocolate shake in the winter. I ain't scared.
Take it from
Ryan says
Portillo's
hot
in
chocolate's
Chicago.
better.
Portillo's chocolate shake, man. That's where it's at.
Interesting. Ryan Muhammad
Portillo's,
says that hot chocolate
yeah.
is better. Okay, Ryan, that's
Hey, the
interesting.
Turks, they drink boiling coffee for the heat, and it works.
Interesting.
Where are these
by the
hot
way,
takes at? Like recess? When are we going to do real stuff?
listen, hey, shut up for a second, all right?
Hot take.
Hey, stop.
Schoolwork is better than recess. Hot take.
Beard or no beard?
All right,
Mustache.
let's go to number 2. Let's see what number 2 is. Hot take: a GIF should be pronounced with a hard G and not a soft G. Who's pronouncing it GIF versus GIF out there?
Yes.
Nobody is.
It has to be give. It has to be a soft one.
I heard it's
Unless you
supposed to
spell
be
it
GIF, but no.
GIF.
I'm verse on this. I can go both ways. I'm good. Doesn't matter to me.
It's
Willing to
the
be
crowd.
versed.
I
Depends
feel
on
you
the
should have an
crowd you're
opinion
with.
on this. This is your area. This is what you do.
GIF, GIF, who doesn't matter? As long as they're funny and they slap,
J.
that's all that matters to me.
And they slap.
It should be.
Now, who knows what GIF stands for?
Graphic,
Interface,
interchangeable facade.
function.
I don't know.
You guys
I
are all
mean,
just making
first of
that
all,
up.
we're doing
Who cares?
Graphic is funny.
Somebody put in the comments what that stands for, because I don't know either. All right.
Graphic
I
is
don't know.
funny.
Hayden knows apparently.
Graphics interchangeable.
Yes,
Hayden, what's up,
what?
brother?
Change
Hayden
format.
just snuck in.
Someone rubbed the lamp, and I don't know what happened.
Hey, it popped
And here he
in.
is. What's up? Dude, what are
Thumbs
you
out,
wearing,
guns
man?
out,
Look
too.
what you're
It's,
wearing.
it's
That's-
GIF.
That's
I'm
fire. Look at
taking
this.
from someone close enough to be in a
This is new
millennial.
Iron Mind swag. Are you muted?
Look at that new
Yes.
Iron Minds.
Tell me you're not muted. You look good though, but yeah,
I
put
can
the
hear
headset
you.
on there. But we got a new relaunch of Iron Minds, and we had our first
so
episode
sick.
last Monday. Got another one this Monday. Got a new logo. We got a new website coming out for it. All kinds of good stuff. Scott's there every week, every Monday,
Every
6
week.
a.m. What's up? Can you hear us now?
Can you hear me?
No, can't hear you. We could hear you before. Can't hear you now.
I can hear him. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we can all hear
Showing
him.
you.
Tie your shoes
Showing
straight. You're
you.
tripping.
No.
It's GIF. Take it from someone who's close
And
enough to be a
plural
millennial.
is
If you say
pussy.
GIF, you're going to get laughed out by a younger colleague. Don't do that.
Hayden, do you know what it stands for?
I mean, you give me 3 seconds, I'll definitely tell you what it stands for.
That's what I did too.
Let me just go through my archives here. I think it stands for graphics
Recall.
interchange format. If I can
Format.
pull that out. Yeah.
Come on, boy.
Impressive. All right. Okay. Next hot take that we have: macaroni and cheese should be eaten with a spoon, not a fork. Did you guys
If
ever see the
you're
Jordan Spieth
5.
commercial on this? See the Jordan
Fork.
Spieth Sports Center commercial on this?
Nope.
That's a great. Look up on YouTube, Jordan Spieth, mac and cheese, ESPN. He's got his caddy there with a spoon and a fork. So Hayden, what do you say, spoon or fork?
If you're a toddler, it's a spoon because you're incompetent with a fork.
You can pick up sauce with a fork.
I kind of agree with that. I kind of agree with that.
Any mac and cheese or carrot.
Hold on, guys.
Hold on.
Is it a soup?
If you need a spoon for mac and cheese, you put too much milk and butter in your Kraft out of the box mac. If you're eating adult mac and cheese, that stuff's baked on.
Listen, no, stop.
Quality, it's cooked.
Yeah,
Stop.
but come on, let's go with the Colonel. Let's go with Kentucky Fried Chicken, right? Have you ever heard of a spork?
Yes.
See,
Best
there you
of
go.
both worlds. There you go.
The guy made millions.
This is a good point.
Come on.
Listen,
why are
mac
we
and
on
cheese
the whole
is
hot
kids' mac
takes
and
from
cheese.
recess? Okay, let's
All right.
do some real stuff. Okay,
Look, we're
I
just
got
trying
one
this
for
out,
you.
man. Just let it go. We're having fun with it. All right, listen.
With
If you're
Fusion.
getting Kraft macaroni and cheese, that's kids macaroni and cheese. You go to a restaurant and get macaroni and cheese. It's saucy. It's not the crap from Kraft. It's saucy Kraft.
What,
Yes, it is.
what
die on
restaurants
that
are you
hill.
going to?
It's not.
Oh,
That's
dude.
what happens
Like
when you
Italian
use cheese
restaurants.
whiz.
Italian
are you
restaurants have
referring to
saucy
the
mac and
broccoli
cheese.
cheddar soup from Panera, Trey? Are you confused on what mac and cheese is?
Who's
I
asking
do
for
mac and cheese. It's not even macaroni. It's
I do
like
eat that with a spoon.
St. Louis
Viral
style. St. Louis
noodles.
style.
Okay, I'll say this. I don't eat a lot of mac and cheese. The default is a fork. I'm with
Okay.
you on that. But if it's saucy, I got to go spoon because I want the sauce. All right,
I guess
so
at
just-
the end of the day, if we're putting judgment aside, whatever tool gets the job done, I don't care if you eat it with your hands. Honestly, like it just get it in your mouth.
I usually eat it with
know?
the spoon I made it with because
There you
it's
go.
straight out of the pot.
Never, it
you
never
know?
exactly.
go.
Never even made it to a plate. I get it. I'm good with that.
Yeah,
Just spatula or a ladle.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
yeah.
A wooden spoon my mom used to beat me with.
Nostalgia, mac and cheese.
Depends on what it is. Okay, all right. That's what the bread is
Well,
for.
let me get to the next
Oh,
hot
Mike,
take.
that's a
Ah,
good
look at
call.
that.
Coming in
Look
right
at
to
that.
soak it
I
up.
like
Good
it.
call, Michael.
Is
Yeah,
the next
Mike,
hot
Mike,
take
Mike.
morning naps or afternoon
Spoon,
naps?
fork, or
Okay,
bread.
shut up, Kyle. Here we go. Next one. All right. Making an itinerary ruins the whole trip. Yes or no? Who's
Depends
an
on
itinerary
context.
person? Who's a
Yes.
fly by the seat? Jeff, you just go. You totally wing it. I can tell. You just
Oh,
wing it.
definitely. I mean, that's what makes it more.
You're
adventurous.
flipping quarters out there.
Best of
deciding where
both
to go.
worlds. You
That's
got to
what you're doing.
consider your time frame, the density of available events and activities, depending on where you're going. This is nuanced.
It is nuanced. You're
In
right.
my
because,
world.
listen, we're
We have
taking the girls to New
GPS
York.
now. The old guys get confused by this, Hayden. They don't. They're like they'll print out their map quest.
Yeah.
They're like, you can't plan. We got to get to this
Map.
location.
Yeah.
That's all this
Okay.
works like. We've
I
got GPS
trust.
now. We know.
Listen.
We make an itinerary, plan out stuff.
Wrong.
I trust that no one on this call prints out a map, but I am related to people that do. I have people
Oh,
that do print out
boy.
maps still whenever they go out. That's
Oh my god.
very, very true. Oh, Michael's got some good takes. Are kids involved? Well, I'll say this. We're taking the kids to New York over Christmas to see musicals, and clearly we had to plan that. So we have an itinerary
Yeah.
for that trip. RV trips, we have an itinerary, but there are some times where you just want to go and just figure it out. Go to a small town and
Wing
have
it.
no plans. That's right.
Yeah,
That's
So-
what my wife and I, we went to Nashville. That's what we did. I mean,
Totally
we were
nuanced, Hayden, you're
what's
right about
next? What's next? What's going on?
I live
Okay,
my
let's try
life
this.
based on my motto, typically, which is I'm just going to jump off this cliff and build my wings on the way down. However, there are situations where we do need to plan this out to maximize the time, depending
That's
on
true.
the
That is
availability.
your life motto. Yeah. Very
I
true.
mean, you got to get tea time, Stray. You got to build an
Well,
itinerary. You
no,
gotta
so
do
listen,
tea
hey,
time, bud.
sometimes you go somewhere and you
It
just go
depends.
to golfmail.com and see what's available and you go do something. You don't
But
have
hold
to
on a
wait that
second.
long.
When you have an
Golf
itinerary,
now.
then you have to maximize time. But when you don't know about time, so you just wing it. So time is not even part of the picture.
I think you're just quoting Hootie and the Blowfish right now, Bodacious.
Jeff, are you
I
one of
don't-
those people?
What are you
Come on,
doing?
now. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
are you one of those people that
serious?
sleeps in on vacation? Like you go to some place on the beach and you're like, I'm on vacation. I'm going to sleep till
Yeah.
noon today.
Dude, Mitch, listen, this is why I love cruising because there's no plans. Like when you get on the boat,
I mean, there's a time
I'm
for
the
dinner.
opposite of that. I want to
there's a
explore.
window.
I'm on
There's a
vacation. I want to get
window.
the day started.
there's a window for dinner and you don't have to go to it if you don't want
I mean,
to.
there's a
Like,
time
you-
for the shows.
Exactly.
There's a time for dinner.
you
there's
wanna
a time
go.
for you to be back
If
in the
you
boat from
wanna
the
go.
excursion.
If you
There's a
wanna
lot
go.
of
Include it.
itinerary in a cruise.
You don't feel like you're wasting time if you don't go though. You're just, you're just out there to have a good time. Whatever you want to do on the ship, you do. You don't have to think. I love that. You don't have to think on a cruise.
I
like that.
Kyle, don't make a face.
Vacation
I'm
in
about
the
to
wrong
mute you.
way.
I can
About
get
to
on
mute
that.
you. All right.
Speaking of
Okay.
Kyle.
Next, do we have another hot take? Do we have another one? Let's see. People should be allowed to go barefoot
False.
anywhere.
This is
they
wrong.
want.
This is gross.
No.
I'm in.
Get it out of
I'm
here.
in.
I'm in.
100%.
Disgusting.
Okay.
McDonald's
Hey,
says no.
Have you seen feet?
McDonald's disagrees.
Hayden's in.
I mean,
Kyle's
my
out. I
feet.
want to hear this.
Look,
Hayden, talk to
People-
me. There's
If
benefits
they
to
see
going
my
barefoot.
feet, they wouldn't want it. But
if
I
it
don't
were up
care.
to me, I would conduct my entire life in like board shorts, tank tops, and barefoot, and I would just walk
would.
around with asphalt Walmart feet if I
And you
could.
should.
You know,
Tell
and,
them why
like,
you don't.
I'm not saying it's the most sanitary in the
Like
grand
a
scheme of
hobbit.
things, but I was born naked, honestly. So it's like I feel
No.
like I'm
I don't know if
prepared for
that's
that
the
world.
argument that we're going to go
Seriously?
with.
Radical.
Hayden's
Oh,
just
wow, man.
describing how the
They're
executive
unique.
team of a frat works with like
I'm
what
just-
they're wearing to that. Like,
I'm just kind of like a
put on shoes, be an adult, get
my
to
whole
work.
childhood was just in a swimsuit and running around my neighborhood barefoot. That was it. So it's like I love the idea of that.
Walmart feet.
All right,
Oh my god.
question, guys. Who drives their car barefoot?
Oh,
I mean,
a long
100%.
road trip. They're coming off.
Yeah, they're
There you
coming
go.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Is it illegal or legal to do
Illegal.
so? What?
It's illegal.
It's illegal.
Mitch?
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's got to be a
It's
state
not.
by
It's
state.
legally
Check it out.
flip-flopped, right?
Listen,
Check it
gotta
out.
be a
There
state.
is no law in the books that any state that you must.
No
put-
state.
It's like your dad when you were younger telling you you better turn those headlamps off while we're driving. That's illegal. We're gonna get into a wreck or something like that. It's like your entire life now you've got that fear. It's like
There's a lot of things our
ridiculous.
parents told us that weren't true. Let's just say that out. There's a lot that we were told.
Driving
about.
barefoot in Illinois, perfectly legal here.
Oh man,
Right.
look at that.
See that?
Look at that. We all learned something today. So
Let's be
I
honest.
love
Like,
driving.
okay,
Yeah.
look, I'm a law-abiding citizen, but there are some out there that I feel like were
Good
put in
movie.
place just to test people. That's a wonderful movie. Jaywalking, though, I'm not like if there's I'm an adult. If it's clear, there's no cars coming. I'm not going to a crosswalk.
Yeah,
That's
Mom-
absurd.
Mom told
I'm
me
just
to look
gonna
both
walk
ways.
across
Oh,
the
you should
street.
come up.
Yeah.
You got to come
I
up to
got tackled
Boston.
in
Man. They don't believe in
California
any of
for
that
that.
crap. The person's got the right of way in Boston. You walk wherever you want. The car's got to
That's
stop
true.
for
Portland,
you.
Oregon,
Hey,
same
in,
way.
in my world, I do the
Same
exact
way.
same thing too. That's absurd.
Listen,
Yep.
jaywalking
Portland,
is something that
Oregon,
exists in the U.S. That's the only country in the world that exists. Like
It doesn't
Yeah,
exist in
probably.
my world at all.
Colombia,
Well, it
it's
happens,
like
but it's not
just
called
cross.
jaywalking.
I just see where I'm supposed to
just
be,
crossing
and
the
if I can
street.
safely achieve that travel, I'm going path of least resistance.
Standard responsibility. If you get hit, it's your fault, nobody else's.
Well,
That's
if you
it.
can't handle crossing a street, then maybe you shouldn't be out and about. That's
Okay,
That's,
we have
natural
one more
selection.
hot
Thank
take.
you.
Well, no,
We have-
here's I'll jump on Hayden. The part that
Oh,
stinks is when cars
oh.
stop for the person that's walking and it's on a crosswalk. Like that part drives me nuts. Just like you can wait, you can cross when you want. The car doesn't
Don't
have to stop
stop traffic
for
to
you.
do it. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But
Don't stop the
Trey's
traffic.
been here. Trey's been here. Like motorcycles cross the crosswalk in Colombia. You'll see that. They'll use it as a U-turn
Yes,
right next to people.
it's the Wild West down there, man. No doubt
Yeah.
about it.
Cocaine's legal.
That's for sure. Okay, do we have one more hot take or cold take as we're calling them? All right, you can wear denim on denim, meaning
Canadian-
you can wear
Canadian
jeans and a
tuxedo?
jean jacket. You wear
No.
jeans and a jean jacket.
I can't.
Nope.
No,
It's denim
it
shirt.
doesn't,
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
go with
yeah.
my
Denim
eyes.
jacket.
Anybody in
jeans.
this chat that could pull that off and it be a 10-10 GQ fashion statement, Bodacious Cowboy would crush.
I agree with that.
Totally. Yes, I agree.
Would
With that.
crush.
100%. Yes.
Some alligator
We should
boot
have
on
him-
with it.
Oh,
We
yeah.
should have him.
Slay it.
So
Drip
Jeff,
boot.
next week,
Can we
man,
make that happen? Do you think?
Ice bucket challenge in denim. That's what I want to see. Ice bucket challenge next
Listen,
week in denim.
I say we make it a fashion off. We do Scott does it versus Bodacious. Winner takes all.
My
Who
wife
has-
wouldn't let me out of the house.
Who has enough denim though to try this? I only have jeans.
I will
don't
go
have
get
any
a
other
jean
denim.
jacket right now.
I only have jeans. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. Well, go to the
cowboy
go
boots
to
and
the
jeans, and I'm not gonna get them wet. How would that?
Go-
Jeans,
go to
yeah,
the,
boots,
uh,
no.
go to
To
the
be fair, it
secondhand
has to be
store.
the denim color, right? The blue denim color. Because
Yeah.
I feel my uniforms felt like they were all denim when I was in military,
I
right?
bet,
They're
I
all
bet.
denim. It's all
Jeff, go to the thrift
Find a
store,
picture
Jeff.
of
Get some
reference.
denim.
We can find a picture of reference from Dumber and Dumber, right? Didn't they have the Canadian tuxedos in Dumb and Dumber?
Yes.
Right?
The orange and the blue.
Line that was
Super Troopers. What's up with the Canadian tuxedo, Denim Dan? You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
The orange and
We
the
have
blue.
examples. We can find.
shenanigans.
Next week, Jeff. Next week, that's what we're rocking with. Is the denim ice bucket
A
challenge.
denim
We'll see
off.
if we can make that happen. So, okay, all right. I think that's all for hot takes or whatever you want to call them, Kyle. But that was fun. Good time, everybody. Good chatting with you. We got to finish the show as we always do with This Week in Pictures. Let's go ahead and get this rolling this week. So, couple of things on the agenda. First of all, Jennifer Carpenter Romaine sent me this picture with her husband. They are in St. Louis as a layover. Who gets laid over in St. Louis? I mean,
What?
goodness gracious, that's weird. I know we have just a couple planes that come in and out, but she sent me that picture today and said she was thoroughly enjoying it. My daughter Naomi, 13, she auditioned for Fiddler on the Roof
Awesome.
this
And-
week, and
And
I auditioned with her.
Sweet.
What?
What?
Why not? Just
All
because I
right.
wanted to. I don't know if
That's
I even have time to do it,
What if
but
you
I was
take
like,
her-
I'm going to
what
do
if you
it.
take her spot?
She'll get the role, and you won't.
So she'll definitely get in. She'll definitely get in.
Was
She's
this for
awesome.
her school play?
No,
What are
it's
you,
from
trying
Missouri
to-
Baptist University. It's a community
Local.
theater. Yeah,
Local
community
community
theater. Local
theater,
theater.
You
Wait,
doing
what
a
do you
never
call-
been
what do you
kissed
gonna call
scenario?
that?
What are you doing there, Trey?
Not in Fiddler on the Roof. And what song do you think that I did my audition with? Just take a guess. What song?
I know exactly what it is. It's
No, you don't.
Barbie Girl.
Yes,
by
yes.
Ice Spice.
What's the name of it? I can't remember the name of it for the life of me.
It's the opera song. Phantom of the Opera.
All right, I'll say this.
Gwen Stefani, If I Was a Rich Girl.
I was
It's
going to say
from
Man of Constant Sorrow.
It's
but
from a
that's
Hugh
not-
Cotton Eye
Jackman
Joe.
movie. It's from a Hugh Jackman movie.
The Great
Oh,
Showman.
Greatest Showman.
So which song, Scott?
You sing
the
Wolverine?
intro. Every night
I heard myself
I lie
today.
in bed.
Not that one.
No?
I did From Now On.
Okay.
Yeah, I did From Now On. It was fun. It's a good time. Never done that before. Good time.
Did you
Had a
get
good
it?
Time with that.
What
We'll
movie
find
is
out
that
on
from?
Sunday. Sunday, the cast list is sent out, but I did tell them that I'm traveling a lot. I may not be able to do it.
I think it's
So
from
okay.
Logan one.
I just wanted the audition.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I
sure
just
that's
wanted-
one from Logan.
Yep.
I just wanted the audition. That's all. Okay. All right. Built this over the weekend with my mom. How about that? Nice little garden box there.
There you
So
go.
this used to just slope down and get our sidewalk all dirty, and then finally we just built that little garden wall. A little something
Cool.
fun with my mom. She was in
that's
town. She's 78. We also did a little go-karting last Friday while we had the ladies edition. My mom and I went go-karting. 50+ mile-an-hour go-karts. My 70-year-old mom was like, "Let's go!" And afterwards, she said, "Oh man, we got to do that again." So that
Must have been,
that was a lot
must have
of
been
fun.
electric.
I already love your mom, man.
No, they were gas. They were
Really?
gas carts.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, gas carts.
Jeff-
And it
Jeff
was
come
inside
for
the
your
track,
mom, Jay.
inside the Worldwide Technology Raceway track. What was that, Kyle?
Jeff loves your mom, and I hear she's a
Loves it.
savage. You
He already
know
loves
that
it.
last night.
She's a
Ask her if she wants
feisty
to
woman.
save a
Jeff.
horse.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, did she like denim on denim?
She's got one right now, but it's
Yeah,
someone
yeah,
has
she
to
can
have
ride
one,
this
I'll let
one
you
if she wants.
Also, I was on social media and I saw this and I got bored. The quest was, can you get below 1/10 of a second on the start stop on your phone? I got 0.06. I was pretty proud of that. You guys try it right now. Pull out your phone, see if you can go ta-ta and get below 0.1.
What?
You got to get off
Okay,
TikTok
hold on
and
a
touching
second
grass,
here.
Trey. You're doing this. You're doing too many little kid things.
See, you guys are
The
trying it
timer?
right now, aren't you?
I
You're
can't
trying it
even
right
open
now.
What's the app
Everybody
name?
except Kyle.
Damn, that's
Let's
pretty.
try
Yeah,
it
man.
right now. 0.08,
I got the
0.09.
black
Come
number.
on.
It's just your phone. It's a stopwatch you want. It's not an app.
Oh, it's called clock. I was like,
0.07, getting closer. Jeff got 0.07.
I just got 8 4 times.
Mitch,
in a
where
row.
you at, man?
Ooh,
Nothing.
one got 0.00.
0.16.
Sleeping at the
I'm also
wheel.
shaking because I just got home from the gym.
Mitch is
Not bad.
Mitch is 0.16. Ooh, that's a good quote. You got to get off TikTok and touch some grass with my bare feet, Kyle. With my bare feet. That's what I'm going to do.
Don't you dare leave the house barefooted.
That
No,
just happened.
0.01? No.
No.
Just
Come on,
happened.
do it again. Do it
That's
again.
great. How-
Yeah, but you're like a
impossible.
ninja. That doesn't count.
The freight sensei.
Oh, you're not even on an
Smoking.
iPhone. That thing doesn't
Got
even
it.
work right.
It's because it's an Android. Yeah.
That's
okay.
not even an
It's Android.
iPhone one. It's off.
Yeah, it's
I can't
an-
get
Ah,
it.
that's because he's a
Yeah.
military guy. He has a nice trigger finger there, man. Are you kidding me?
He's a ninja. He's the freight sensei.
That
I
is true.
expected no less. Also, fun story here. Coast Guard arrested a man trying to run a giant hamster wheel across the Atlantic.
I don't see the
Where's
problem.
this a crime?
Why? Why did he
This-
stop
this-
it?
This just seems like, I mean, I would have rolled alongside him and just, you know,
Are
cheered him on,
men
see how
not
he did.
supposed to have hobbies? Like, what
Seriously,
are they,
like, this is like a
Why
challenge.
did he arrest him?
Not that there.
I mean,
Aiden, not that.
how crazy is that? How crazy is that?
I saw this. He was actually charged with exercise.
That makes sense.
in international waters. In international waters, that was the problem.
You don't have to go.
And
Was
look-
there a
and look at
sign?
Mitch
Or did
just
he go
sitting there,
out?
man? He doesn't even have a smile on his face. He's serious.
Okay, I can
Somebody has to keep doing
appreciate
it.
I can appreciate borders, but is it not silly that there are imaginary lines where you can commit a felony and like you
Yeah,
have no
where
like if you're
the
just
law
an like
changes. Yep,
it's
out there
it's
in the water.
wild that
Yep.
that
I don't
exists.
care what happens
insane.
after 6 miles out. I don't
Yep.
care.
Speaking of somebody with no life, or maybe with the greatest life, who knows? This guy broke the world record. A guy in Pennsylvania watched 777 movies in a single year.
What kind of
That's
movies?
two
though?
a
What
day.
kind of movies
Movie
were
theater?
He aligned.
He's
Do it.
unemployed.
In a
That'll
movie
live
theater.
theater.
Challenge that.
Were they
My
fun
brother
movies
theater.
or movies?
That's two.
Movies?
Movies. My
He
my
probably
brother
received
works
those
for the
36 million.
Mitch,
assume-
I didn't get
Out
that
of
deep in the
curiosity.
story.
Yeah, were they 777 clips or were they movies?
Ah.
Yeah,
It was-
movies.
It
I've
was
watched a
movies in
lot
the
of
theater.
documentaries
Now, maybe
online
you
as
didn't stay
well
to-
during the
Maybe you
year.
didn't stay
I
for
get
the
what you're
whole
saying,
thing. I
Mitch.
don't know.
My man was
Seven hundred
capitalizing on those
Measure that.
matinees.
How do they measure that?
It's crazy. So I'll have to read deeper in the article. And then
Thank you.
finally, we're going to end with this today. A man in Nebraska was stopped by the police and was given a ticket for the following. He had a bull riding shotgun in his car.
Oh, that's
Look
bullshit.
I still don't see the problem.
I mean, what do you want? The bull's not going to drive the car.
Because it wasn't in Texas.
I've seen that 6 times on the way to the gym this morning, like in Texas. People rolling through town doing groceries.
I was saying it's because it's not in Texas.
Oh, you actually got people doing
Those are their
eating
wants.
vision.
You don't need to be that rude to them.
That's right. All right, everybody. Well, that is this week's show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here, everybody. Appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you guys right back here next week.
Great
Peace
weekend,
out, everybody.
guys.
6 a.m. Monday morning, 6 a.m. Central.
Yes.
Tate and I. See you guys. Peace out.